okay? A lot of the times, this also indicates some news, some troublesome news that might also hit us on a very strong gut level. So that's what I'm sensing here. In terms of your second house of values and money, we have here the Magician. And the Magician is kind of like conjuring things out of thin air, having money grow for you. Some of you might have investment opportunities or even investment portfolios. And in some way, you're able to find opportunities in which you can branch out and make money. And I feel some of you might be involved in like speaking engagements at universities, at social functions, professional functions. I do see a lot of speaking engagement where you're going to be in the public limelight. And I feel like, you might be teaching a course, you might be teaching a seminar, you might be leading a focus group. You might also be in the publishing and you're, talking about the article or the book that you have recently released. So I feel like there's a lot of, this is the public limelight card. And I feel like, because of these appearances, because of these engagement, these speaking opportunities, I feel that you're getting compensated handsomely for them. Okay. And then for others of you, you're thinking of ways to generate money for yourself through some type of innate skill or some type of an innate craft that you know how to do really well. So I feel for some of you, it deals with like arts and crafts. And for others, it deals with like writing, it deals with publishing, or even like speaking engagement. So I feel like money is not going to be a major problem for this year. I'm sorry, this month of February. And I feel some of you are able to recoup past earnings as well. So this is a great card that signals you have a lot of control over your money. So you're making it work for you. You're investing it wisely and you're researching as well, learning into new ideas, new avenues where you can generate money. This is a really very positive card, okay? In terms of your values, let's just say this, okay? The Magician is a very powerful card. And as it relates to your value system, make sure that you stand by your own truth, okay? A lot of the times we get ourselves into situations where, some people might feel like their values will change depending on the circumstances or depending on their environment or depending on the people that they're interacting with. But as a fire sign, I feel like a lot of the times you have these innate truths that you believe in, even though other people might believe otherwise. You will hang on to your truth and you will defend your truth. And I feel like this is sometime for this month, you're going to have to really broadcast or advertise whatever it is that you truly value. And you're going to be able to persuade other people to come to your side and to believe the same things that you believe in. So this is a very powerful card. And, make sure that what you really espouse, what you really preach, is what you also implement in your daily life. Okay. So, your words dictate your actions. And so it's really important to be in alignment. Okay. So overall, still a very good card. Third house deals with siblings, and it also deals with childhood, like communication. I'm sorry, just communications overall, as well as siblings. And we have here the Death card in the reverse position. So in terms of a sibling environment, like a sibling that you're dealing with, and for those of you who are without, siblings, might be the only child, you could disregard this and take, the interpretation for communication, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. I feel like one of your siblings might have gone through a major, major, major cathartic experience. It was like a mind-blowing growth spurt that one of your siblings might have undergone recently. And I feel like some of you are just like, okay, it's sad that it happened, but I'm glad it happened because, he or she needed to learn. And I feel like the lesson might have been a little bit overwhelming, might have been like almost too much. And so this person might feel like they're retreating. It's almost as if, they said they've learned something, but then once that experience is over with, they might revert back to their old self. And so the important thing here is to understand at a baseline level where the other person is. Maybe they're not ready for that new shift, for that new change. And so pushing them in that manner is not going to be, conducive for their growth and for their emotional well-being. And so I feel like while you want to nudge, you want to tell this person, you experienced it for a reason, learn from it. I feel that they're still in the process of emotionally sorting out everything that happened, because it seems almost as if a lot of things have happened within your family unit recently, especially in the January timeframe. So it feels like this person is not yet ready for that change, for that major transition. They might still be in the denial stage. And so it's really important for you to, practice loving detachment, be supportive, but don't push them too soon, because I feel like this is a situation that you might not have control over when you're dealing with another person. All right. In terms of your communication, with the death card in the reverse, it basically means that for you to not shy away from communicating in a way that you feel is appropriate. So communication deals with, the way that we behave and the way that we project ourselves, our needs, our thoughts into the world. With the death card, a major arcana card in the reverse position, it basically means that I feel almost as if, there might have been a painful exchange of words that happened between you and another person in the month of January. And I feel almost as if you feel like, did I say too much? Did I, approach it the wrong way? And so you're cycling, you're like constantly turning the event or replaying the event over and over and over again in your head. And you're thinking, did I make the best possible choice possible? Did I, do everything in my power to steer the situation in the best possible manner to achieve the best outcome? So I feel like you're beating yourself up over something that was said, or you had an opportunity to say something, but I feel like you might not have said it because you were afraid of hurting other people's feelings. You were afraid of kicking up, opening a can of worms is what I'm feeling. So there's something here in your communication sector that needs to be revisited. And I feel like it's not so much what was communicated. It was more like, what did we want to communicate and what objective were we hoping for? What did we want to achieve by communicating that message? So I feel like there's a little bit of a gap there. So you want to really analyze, what was I hoping to achieve and how could I have said things differently? So there's some communication things, misunderstanding even, or even a situation that might have been beyond your control. I feel like you're kind of beating yourself up over it, or you're beating up over things that you should have said, but for whatever reason, you didn't say in the heat of the moment, okay? It's not bad. It's just coming up for reexamination, okay? And once again, it's not about the message that was said. It's more like, what was I hoping to achieve, So don't beat yourself up over it, because it takes two. And I feel like if the moment has passed, whatever was not said, just let it go, okay? Fourth house deals with the family environment. We have here the Ace of Wands, and I feel almost some of you might have shifted from a household. So I do feel this is kind of like looking for a new house, scoping the neighborhood, scoping the territory to see if there is a new place of living that's going to be offered to you, or that's going to be opening up, or that's going to be available. I see a change in the housing environment for some of you. You might be leaving sometime this month, living with another person, and then you're going to be shifting back. So it could be, short-term travel, long-term travel. For some of you, as it pertains to, the mother figure in the family environment, there might be property that is left to your name and you're trying to decide what to do. And I have, some energies here in the 8th house, and the 8th house deals with joint finances. The 8th house also deals with inheritance. And I feel some upheaval within the family unit. And I feel like some of you are inheriting something, possibly a lot, like a plot of land, or even some housing situation, okay? Um, let me see here. So let me just talk about your mother very quickly. There's a lot of healing energy that's coming through on the maternal front, okay? There's a lot of idea, support, inspiration, as well as I'm seeing like emotional support and financial support, emotional support, and I'm also seeing like this is a person that's going to give you some great ideas. You know, they're just mentioning some great ideas. It could be related to income generating ideas as well. And I feel for some of you, this person might be, you know, the mother figure, especially for those of you who still are interacting with your mothers or whose mothers are still alive. I'm sensing something regarding an inheritance. And so you might inherit something through the maternal line. And I'm also feeling some of you, you're inundated with some responsibilities already. And then I feel that you're helping out your mother in some way. And it's kind of like a lot of responsibilities between the two of you that you share. So I feel like the mother figure, the family unit, um, they're coming through heavily in this spread. Okay. So the fifth house deals with recreation. It also deals with creativity, children, and it's basically the types of people that you are interacting with, okay? Like you are socially dating or interacting with or going out with. And we have here the Ten of Wands. And this is a card about being burdened, being, um, I want to say like being inundated with a lot of responsibilities. This is also the card about moving as well. So, you know, moving from one place to the other. You might be, you know, in terms of like how you entertain yourself, you might be living out of a suitcase, traveling quite a bit for some of you. And Sagittarius love to travel. So I feel like this is a good message overall. And it seems like it's appropriate for your situation. So I feel almost as if you are doing massive amounts of travel, living out of a suitcase, hopping from place to place, hopping from plane to plane. And so I do want you to be a little bit careful when it comes to packing, not to leave things behind. And then for others of you, I feel like, you know, if you are socially dating, the people that you're interacting with, they have a lot on their plate. So be very patient with them. Okay. So for example, if they have to say, let's take a rain check, don't get offended. Don't get defensive. They literally have a lot on their plate. So they're not able to accommodate, you know, the dates and time that you agreed upon. So be a little bit more, you know, just, take them at face value because I feel like they're inundated with a lot of chores. And then for a few of you, I feel like your social life is not so robust and thriving, mainly because you have a lot on your plate in terms of work and personal responsibilities, especially moving houses as well. So you might not be out and about too much for the month of February. The sixth house deals with health, work, as well as your daily routine. So we have here the Two of Wands in the reverse position. In terms of your health, it seems almost as if you're waiting on a decision of another person. So you might have gone in for a medical exam, you might have gone in for a dental exam, you might have gone in for some type of a health screening, and you're waiting on results. And I feel almost as if, you know, some of you might be in a position where you might have recently had some type of surgery or some type of very recent injury, like back pain, knee pains is what I'm sensing. And you're waiting for that clean bill of health. Okay. So it shows up in the reverse position. So I feel like there's going to be a little bit of a delay. But generally, I feel that you're getting good news. Just be careful not to wear yourself out because I feel like a lot of the times you overexert yourself. You know, you overestimate your physical limitations. So you want to be a little bit careful about if you are exercising even. I'm seeing a lot of people exercising, getting in shape, getting, you know, trying to improve their health as well. So I feel like you're going to start to see results for this month, okay? Like very strong results for this month. Routine. I'm not getting like any hits for routine because I feel almost as if you're waiting on decisions. You're waiting on a lot of major important decisions. Okay. So I'm sensing like that's the main theme that's coming through with this card. Now, in terms of your work environment as well, with the Two of Wands, it basically means, you know, having two ideas running at the same time. So you might be thinking about, do I become self-employed or do I continue a 9 to 5? So I feel like you're choosing between two major decisions and you're waiting for a sign. It seems almost as if you're waiting for like divine timing. You're waiting for a sign from the divine so that you know how to make these decisions. So I'm sensing like you're hitting like a major crossroads in your work sector, and you're trying to decide, do I stay or do I go? Do I get another job and move closer to my home? That's closer to my home. Or do I continue at this job and commute? I'm also feeling for some of you, you're waiting on feedback as well when it comes to work. You might have applied like the past 2 months and you're waiting for some type of feedback, like interviews and, acceptance letters even. Okay. Now, the seventh house we have here, the seventh house deals with relationships in love or in business. We have here the 6 of Swords in the upright position. So this is a very good card that basically means, sailing over troubled waters. It can also indicate literally long distance travel with a significant other, like a spouse or even a partner. It can also indicate doing that with a business partner. But either way, I feel like if there has been harsh words that were exchanged between family members and especially between a spouse or even a relationship partner, I do feel that you're going to be able to make up and you're going to be able to move in the same direction. So that means, peace treaty agreements so that two people can move ahead together. Okay. This is a card about finding a safe haven. So I feel like if you have been in a relationship that might have been quite toxic or that made you feel unsafe, unloved, unappreciated in some way, I feel like you are going to be leaving it for good and you're moving away from it. It's almost like you're being divinely guided by higher powers to leave that environment. And once you leave it, you're going to feel this overwhelming sense of peace and you're not going to be able to go back to it. Okay. So I feel like some final decisions is being reached here in your romance sector. And, but either way, it looks to me to be something that's meant for you and it's better for you. All right. This is also, peace treaty, agreeing to let bygones be bygones, water under the bridge and, just let things go. Now, your 8th house, once again, this is, I'm getting a very strong hit here for inheritance. I do see physical property coming through with this card for inheritance. I do see a plot of land. I do see a house. And I feel like it was a generational house, like grandparents, parents, offsprings living under the same roof. And then I feel like, the house now is being passed down between family members. So there might be some discussions regarding a property. And for others of you, you might have lost a property if you are sharing joint finances with another person, because I feel like the other person, for some reason, one person felt as if they contributed to purchasing the house or purchasing the property, and they feel that the other person is not deserving of it. So I feel like there is almost like, they're saying like a loss of property. If you are sharing property with another person, I do feel like it's a situation where you feel like it might not have been fair. Okay. Now, in terms of, let me see if there's anything else coming through for the 8th house. So joint finances, property is mainly what I'm sensing. Okay. In terms of your 9th, this is 9th house. The 9th house deals with higher education and it also deals with foreign travel. So in terms of higher education, a lot of you are in a position where you might be working collaboratively in a team environment or with a very dynamic team. So I do see a lot of people in the public speaking field, in the communications field, in the I see a lot of people giving PowerPoint presentations, and that image is coming through with the magician. So you're going to be working together as a unit. You're deciding on, you know, I present this part, you present this part, and the other person present that part, and so on. So I feel like you're in good hands. You're working very cooperatively together, and you're building something. I feel like big projects being built up from the ground up, okay? And also, for those of you who are working as well in an institution of higher learning, I feel that there's going to be a need for you to give a presentation, host a seminar, I'm sensing, or even like consult somebody as well. Um, I'm seeing like consultation, consulting foreigners, consulting foreign firms associated with this card. I'm also seeing like a lot of you are physically traveling for work, dealing with a lot of foreigners, traveling for work, like traveling via airways, via waterways, in order to like plan out something, the construction of something, building something with a group of people that might be foreign to you. Okay, so a very, very good card overall. I feel like you have a lot of responsibilities coming through for this month.